Hey everybody, it's Shane at Pulse Personal Training, and today we're going to talk about how much protein is right. This is a question I've had over the last month quite a few times, so I thought we could just talk about how I would set up general guidelines for how much protein you should be eating throughout the day. Of course, the disclaimer would be that I am not your doctor, I am not your dietitian. This is just concepts and discussion. You should probably consult someone to see if this is right for you, especially if you have something like a kidney problem that affects your proteins. So, having put the disclaimer out there, the first thing I need to know when we're talking about how much protein you should be eating is what is your goal? What are you trying to do? Are you trying to reduce your body fat? Are you trying to get stronger? Are you trying to add muscle? I'm also going to want to know what timeline you have for those goals. Because what your goal is going to determine how much we need in terms of ranges of protein. And rather than give you a fixed number, like this is exactly how many grams you should have every day, usually we like to operate in ranges. Ranges make things a little bit easier. So when we talk about ranges, we're going to have a minimum, which is what we're trying to get to every day, and then we'll have something that we would call the top end, which is about the most you would ever worry about getting in a single day. So if your goal was to reduce body fat, you still need to have protein in your diet. If your goal is to get stronger or to add muscle, you're going to need that protein in your diet, and you might need more protein since you're in a phase where maybe you're trying to physically add mass to your body, or at least you're not concerned with reducing the size of your body. So no matter what you're doing, there's going to be a minimum for protein. The basic minimum that I like to give people is a formula that is 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. 1 gram of protein for every kilogram of body weight that your body makes up. And I've done an example over here just using a 180-pound person. So the example on that would be 81.8 kilograms if you were 180 pounds. So you need about 82 grams of protein as your daily minimum protein intake. So we would want you to get in a minimum of 82 grams, which is the equivalent of 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. Anything up to the top end, which I have down here as 1 gram per pound of body weight. 1 gram of protein for every pound of body weight. So the 180-pound example that we used would have 180 grams of daily protein. We've created a range, basically, by using these two easy-to-remember formulas, 1 gram per kilo or 1 gram per pound. So you would have a daily minimum of 82 and a daily maximum, or at least a top end, of 180 grams. Generally, I'm going to tell someone to shoot for something closer to the top end, because if we set a goal here and you don't get there, you're still going to fall somewhere in here. But what I don't like to do is give someone the minimum goal, because rarely does anyone reach that goal on a day-to-day basis. So if you set your goal at 82, you might hit less than that. You don't have to hit either of these numbers on the nose every day, but this is a great operational range. The other question would be, what sources are you using to get there? If you only had to do 80 grams of protein a day, I would suggest that you're not using protein powders and stuff like that. A number lower than 100 grams should be something that everyone is able to achieve through natural sources, things like meat, eggs, dairy products, cottage cheese and stuff like that. Hopefully you're not at a point where to get to 100 grams you need protein shakes, but even a single scoop of a whey iso, a whey protein of some sort, is probably going to be about 25 grams of protein. So in the event that you found yourself short one day, whey protein would be a great way to boost yourself to the bottom of this range or to finish out the middle. But if you're at the top end, if you're trying to get 1 gram per pound of body weight, that's going to get a lot more complicated, and especially for a bigger body. If you're 250 pounds and you're trying to get 250 grams of protein, it's going to be a hell of a stretch to get there without any kind of protein powder, or at least using something simple like liquid egg whites or something like that in a shake. So what is your goal? It's going to determine maybe how much protein we need. It's also going to determine your training style, and your training style is going to dictate how much protein we might need as well. That's why I'm not giving hard numbers for you, because this is actually a lot more individual than that. So just the easy answer is, are you currently tracking your food intake? Are you tracking the calories of your food intake? And then the third thing I would care about is tracking your grams of protein. So if you're already at a point with your diet where you're asking yourself, how many grams of protein should I be eating? This is a great place to start, because if you do a 7-day, 14-day, 21-day food journal, and you start looking at how often you're ending your day either above 1 gram per kilo or somewhere below 1 gram per pound of body weight, that's a great operational range. So, how much protein is right? It's hard to know the answer to that without a very specific dietary screening, which is something you'd go to a dietitian or maybe your primary care physician for. But for those of us that are out here trying to just figure this out on our own, there's a very, very easy formula that you can follow to figure out your minimums and your top ends and stuff like that. Of course, you're going to adjust for your own dietary needs. Maybe you don't digest well. Maybe you need to spread this out over 4, 5, 6 meals, right? It doesn't have to be 2 meals to get to this point. So there's a lot of variability in this. But I hope that clears up some of how much protein is right. That's a question I've had a couple of times this week. If you have questions like that and you would rather have them answered in person, that's what we do as a personal trainer. Send me a message, schedule a consultation. We'll come in, we'll get you taken care of. We'll write you a workout, we'll talk about your nutrition, we'll keep you on track and hold you accountable. So, if you like the video, hit the like button. Be sure to like the page. If you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We appreciate all that stuff. My name is Shane. This is Pulse Personal Training. I appreciate you watching. Have a great day.